Okay, guys, 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins here on our Sunday nights, and we are looking at what are we looking at? Obviously, Hurricane Milton. Let me stop this here for you so you can see this a little bit better. Essentially, we've got 85-mile-per-hour hurricane. Forecast to get stronger. Pressure's dropping. It's about 780 miles west-southwest of Tampa, and really through the day today, the forecast track is flip-flop. All day yesterday, it's like worst case scenario for Tampa, right? It's coming right in Tarpon Springs, Pasco County, kind of. And then through the late morning hours today, it actually flipped. It was coming down south, down towards Vamo. And now it's coming back up to the north again, up towards Siesta Key. So there have been some changes throughout the day. So I kind of wanted to go over those for today to kind of give you an idea of what we're talking about here. All right, so here's the track right now. You can see this is the 5 p.m. forecast track, and that has the speeds up to 145 miles per hour by midday on Tuesday. Now, there is a ton of shear, and I'll show you there's a ton of shear up here, but the system's way down to the south, and so it's got plenty of opportunity to get warm and get strong. And then you've got what's called the loop current, which comes up and goes up and does something like this up into the Gulf Stream. So this thing is moving right across that very warm water, and you can see it's about 145 to 140 Tuesday into Wednesday morning. All right, that's the 5 p.m. forecast track. Now, fortunately, they do have it at least trying to weaken a little bit, down to about 120 before landfall, somewhere on the west coast of Florida. We'll talk more about that during the day on Wednesday, although that might even get pushed back in time. But look, guys, if this is a Cat 3, making landfall over here, it's probably going to remain at least a hurricane all the way across the state. So I know a lot of folks are leaving Tampa, they're going to Orlando. Well, the storm's going to Orlando too, right? Pretty much. It's moving west to east. If you really want to get out, you're going south or you're going north. You want to deal with any of it. But if you are going to Orlando, you will deal with less wind, all right? Because it will weaken a little bit by the time it gets there. Now, forecast models. So these two on the bottom have kind of been there for the rest of the afternoon. We'll get another run coming up soon. But things are starting to go a little bit further to the north. Hurricane Center is right in here. But you can see now that's not good for Tampa. That is not where you want it for Tampa, because if it were to do something like that, that wind comes in and pushes water right up in the bay. That's the worst surge that we can get. So now, having said that, it has flip-flopped today. It will continue to move a little bit, all right? So none of this is set in stone. In fact, the Hurricane Center is not even releasing storm surge numbers right now. I can look at it on a model and give you an idea, but I can also tell you that it would be more than Helene, certainly more than Helene, but it would be for a smaller area if it comes in from the west like that. So here's the satellite right now. You can see it's moving to the east at 7 miles per hour. It's rapidly intensified throughout the day today. Recon's out there. Great news, because all of that data goes into the forecast models, and that should make it get a little bit better as far as agreement between the models. Look at the GFS. Now, this is Tuesday at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's right off the Yucatan, right way down there. I mean, that Cozumel is right here. Cancun, Cozumel, right in that area. And then watch what happens. By the time we get towards Wednesday at 9 a.m., it's still way out here. All right? So this timing is way off. And in fact, the GFS by Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, the center's still offshore. And then it has landfall up towards Crystal River on Thursday morning after sunrise, right? Completely different than what we've been seeing on anything from the Hurricane Center. The European, kind of similar, but not as slow. This is 8 a.m. on Wednesday. You can see it's southwest of Tampa. And then as we get into Wednesday evening, it's making landfall right in Tampa. Okay, that's the latest European right there. So that's not a good one. We don't want to see that. There is the shear, all of that blue that you see there. This is all high wind shear in here. All right, there's our storm down here. And that's through Tuesday. Now watch as it gets closer to us on Wednesday, it starts to get into that shear, right? And that's why the Hurricane Center does weaken it just a little bit by the time it's moving off towards the north and the east towards Tampa. At least that would be the hope, right? Could it still go south? Yes, it could go. Could it go further to the north? Yes. I mean, all those options, and I hate to say it, but they're on the table. Let's talk winds. This is a product from the Hurricane Center, right? And so what I wanted to show you is how big these winds are. All right, so the winds By the time we get towards 6 a.m. on Tuesday, it's about 200 miles wide of tropical storm force winds. Now watch what happens as we go. Look at that. By the time we get to Wednesday morning, now those winds, instead of 200 miles wide, it's almost 300 miles wide. So the storm wind field is going to get bigger. That's what pushes surge, right? And so the surge number would go up. This is like what Helene did. Helene, though, obviously went just in like this, right? It didn't bring these highest winds that you have offshore. It didn't bring those on land, right? They stayed offshore until they went up here. That's when they went on. This is going to come in here somewhere like this. So those high winds that are right there will come in somewhere along the west coast of Florida is what it's looking like right now. But the key about it is Helene, we had storm surge problems all up and down the coast. We didn't have a lot of wind. We didn't have a lot of rain. With Milton, we will have a lot of wind and we will have a lot of rain. This is wind anywhere from about 39 miles per hour to about 58 miles per hour in the yellow. That orange is 58 to 73. And the red went away in here. It's a glitch in the data that they send us. But there's a ton of hurricane force winds right around the center here. That's at 75 to 105 is possible. We still have to look at that. But they're forecasting this to have 120 mile per hour wind somewhere out here. All right, as it's coming on shore. Now, look, Citrus County, Polk County, Islands, all the way down past Marco. All tropical storm force winds, of course, including Tampa. And then look at this. This orange and hurricane moving by. Citrus all the way through almost Sarasota, Lakeland, all the way across. So this will be a big storm. And obviously the highest winds are going to be around the center. And right now the center is coming across Tampa. It's going right up I-4 essentially is what it's doing. Arrival of those winds. Now this is as of 5 o'clock. We'll get another update at 11 o'clock tonight. But they're saying Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. So meaning really you want all your preps done by Tuesday at sunset. It's just a lot easier to do stuff in the daylight than it is at dark. But this looks like more of a Wednesday storm than anything else. Now, this is surge, and somebody gave me a hard time and said, well, I can't see what the numbers are. Well, I'm not showing you numbers down here because this will change, right? And there's no official forecast coming out. But what I will say is it was 5 to 8 in the Tampa area with Helene. The numbers will be higher than that. But what I wanted to show you here was, here's the center, right? Wind's going like that. Helene, because it went straight up, it was given this onshore wind to here, onshore wind to here, onshore wind to here. It was giving everybody storm surge. This storm, Milton, because it's coming at an angle like this, it's going to give the highest storm surge. There's the center line of where the center would go, and you can see the highest storm surge is down here. So if this were to happen, you wouldn't get as much in Tampa Bay as you would get Siesta Key and point southward down towards Sanibel. Okay? Now, this line is important. That's where the center goes, and that's what we're trying to figure out. That line was up here in Pinellas all day yesterday. So we thought, oh, worst case scenario, blowing water into the bay, right? Then this morning, late morning, went all the way down to Vema, almost right there, right? And then this afternoon, it went back up here to Siesta Key. So this is going to change, and this is the key to storm surge. So we just don't know yet, but I will tell you this. They are likely evacuating A and B levels. They did not do that for Helene. It was just level A. So that should tell you something. Problem is, it's going to be a more finite area that gets the highest surge. We just don't know where that is yet. Rainfall, we're going to get a ton of rain. Everybody's going to get a ton of rain, but it looks like now the heaviest rain will be to the north of the center. So wherever that center goes and points northward, we're talking 4 to 8 inches. Some places could get over a foot. So timing, there you go. We're going to start at Tuesday night, but really this is a Wednesday problem. And things to me seem to slow down. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is still going on through Thursday morning. So I know the kids are out of school Monday through Wednesday. At this point, I'm not thinking they would even be in school on Thursday. So we'll see how that plays out. But the models have slowed down just a little bit. So get all your stuff done. Protect your exposed areas of your house. Put up your boards. If you're considering, like, do I put my shutters up for this one? This is a storm you put shutters up for. Absolutely. Have a way to get alerts. You can get that just on your phone. A lot of the time your phone just gets it now automatically. But you can also get the 10 Tampa Bay app. Because not only can you get alerts there, you can get live video from us. And when your power goes out, your phone will still be working. And if you've got cell service, you'll still be able to watch the TV and watch us show you the radar, show you where the the bad storms are, because we do have a tornado threat coming with this as well. And lastly, but not the least, please, if you are asked to evacuate, please do so. I know a lot of folks already are because of what happened with Helene. I mean, you shouldn't have to say that, but I really think I want to get that out, because where this comes on shore and just to the south, it's going to have higher surge than what there was for Helene. All right, it's dangerous, it's deadly. So please evacuate if you are asked to. Okay? What we're trying to do is get people that are in the way of the water, the storm surge, to get out of the way. We don't need everybody to leave Tampa. We don't need that. We're all going to get some wind. But we need those people that are at the coast, on the water, to get away from their house, to get away from that water. And we need them just to go inland just a little bit, tens of miles. Go to a friend's house. You can go to a shelter, but that's the last place you want to go. Right? A friend's house is so much more comfortable. So have that plan ready to go, and you should be actually putting that into play right now. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. We'll keep you updated.